Ooh,
Pig.
bacon.
Bacon. Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Nelforge, the West Road Gateway. Now, as of this moment, they have, well, not necessarily vanquished, but certainly dealt with some sort of infernal creature. Question is, what's the aftermath above?
Yep. I think now we just got to make sure that the news about the deal having been broken doesn't get to the person who was going to gets where it needs to in time to stop the girl from actually being finished off.
Let's haul ass.
Yes.
Yes.
So, as quickly as possible, we go up the upside, right? That's about it. Nothing much to be done.
Okay, so you are heading out as quickly as you can.
Yeah, I don't think we should try to look for loot right now.
Okay, you picked up a fair amount already.
Yeah.
But what is enough? Says the dragon blooded.
They'll still be here. It's not perishable.
True, but depending what happens in the depending what happens above, you might or might not be able to get back down here easily. So
I'm sure I can find that
pressure.
No, I have really good memory for maps and geography and stuff. I'm sure I can find our way back from that escape route or from where the fountain is.
Yeah. Also, there is the escape route exactly. We could take the escape route. Where does it lead, by the way?
It leads into the storm drains.
Is that closer to the temple than the house, or not?
Let's see. The storm drain would lead you the storm drain sort of leads you away.
Away.
I would believe, yeah.
So then
it's going to the northwest, and the temple is to the southwest.
Okay, so then to the house.
Okay. So just refreshing our memories with the map. Another reason I want to switch to D20 Pro fairly soon, and the next session is going to be where we put it through its shakedown. You're starting from the sort of secret room above the living space of the bookshop up to here. By the way, there's an arm of a skeleton over here. Just FYI.
Oh yeah, coming out of the rubble.
Coming out of the rubble, yeah. I'm going to click on myself so I can see the map. Then you come all the way over here, back down into the living area here, up the stairs, up the hole, and out the stone shed.
Let's do that.
Very direct route. You're leaving behind one or two things because you just couldn't carry them easily, I believe.
I'm sure we could get permission from the lady of the house to go back down there later, but...
And if the lady of the house is still the lady of the house.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Well, she will be, because we... why wouldn't she?
Unless we're kicked out of town, I'm not concerned.
It was bought, the house. So, money changed
hands. It was kind of granted.
Granted?
By the Duke.
Oh,
might change his mind.
Yeah, no. Well, we are not going to tell everyone about this this book. So if the count isn't going to, and the countess isn't going to, then nothing should change.
We're not telling people? Why not?
We are rescuing the girl. That's it. If he is gone and taken by the devil, then
then nothing would.
Then
really
it's over.
Accomplished.
It's over. Yes. So, just getting to the girl.
Good understanding the situation. You're coming up out of the hole. I believe the people from the Ministry of Vermin are just collecting the last few beetles that are down there. Obstreperous little things.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. The household seems very quiet now.
Almost too quiet.
Just almost, though.
Almost, yeah. We are not checking on the household. I am saying...
Well, wait, didn't we send...
Yes, we can tell the Count that we've managed to save his daughter.
The
Count do that after all.
The Count is on his way to kill his daughter.
Well,
so we need to go to the temple, actually.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanksgiving sounds like it's going to get awkward in that household.
So how many people are fitting?
He hired us to protect his daughter, so we need to fire her right away because we've discovered what the greatest threat to her right now is.
Her father.
Yes. We don't have to say that.
Well,
I don't want to say I told you so, but
yeah,
we didn't tell him though, did we? I don't know if we did tell him because we thought he was, maybe.
It's one of our theories.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's be the right one.
We didn't tell anyone because we didn't know. We just found out. So
yeah.
So
let's make sure he's not following us.
Who?
Let's make sure the Count isn't like watching from the window.
They got to the girl right away, is what it is.
Though
I believe she's under threat right now. So where is she? Yeah, I think that's pretty much the most direct route.
Let's do it.
What? I didn't follow now. What are you going to do?
Well, find the girl.
Yeah, find the girl. We know where we put the girl. We put the girl in the temple. So I'm going to fly there with the broom. And I think I have space for one person more to get on the broom. Who does want to come with me?
Yeah, who wants to ride Argyle's broomstick?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can just run.
Yeah.
I'm fast.
Well, if nobody is going to volunteer, I will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you go. Desert nomads will run there fast because desert nomads will do that.
Okay. So Saria is sitting on the broomstick. I'm sitting on the broomstick, and I say Sharasuti, and I zip to the temple.
Yeah, you ride a broomstick to the temple.
I was going to say, let's hope they don't have an anti-flying broomstick field protecting them.
Well, the
maybe
Temple of Briscus just put the anti-aircraft guns in last week. Sign out front should have told you.
Yeah. They just put in the swivel-mounted lightning staves.
Well, it's just a broomstick. It's not a battle station. So calm down. It's just.
I've got this image of a phalanx of broomsticks swooping down into a trench above the castle, looking to fire wands of fire bolts into that little vent.
That would be amazing. Dropping delayed action fireballs.
But then here come the magic carpets making the TIE fighter noise.
I'm sure flying is not that uncommon in the city. Is it? Is flying that uncommon?
It is rather.
It is. Oh.
Yeah. You draw a few stairs as you rise over the buildings and sort of make your way by the most direct route to the Temple of Briscus. And nice place from above, too. Yeah.
Great. So we tap down in front on the plaza in front of the temple.
One or two of the Templars from inside come out looking a little surprised.
Okay.
Maybe a little fatigued as well. Astonishment fatigue may be setting in. That's never a good sign.
Yeah, they're like, because after everything that's happened so far, they see you come in on a broomstick and they're all sort of saying, because of course.
Why not?
So I'm just taking the broomstick in a non-threatening manner.
Okay. Well, excuse me. What are your intentions?
I was looking for the Countess
And her daughter. We're here.
and her daughter, and to see if she's all right.
Well,
Because
we've had a little situation. And about this point, Acock comes out, lands on the Templar's shoulder.
I'm sorry, a what comes out?
my
Acock.
raven.
Oh, I'm
Argyle's raven, Acock.
Why did you call it that? I was thinking a chicken, and I was like, okay. Does the guard have a
No, I think Emmy's mind went somewhere slightly different.
Well, when he first said it, I was like, what? And then I thought
The guard
maybe
just whipped it out.
maybe he meant a chicken.
Somebody is 14 years old.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily just her either.
No, it's not just me, but like, all right, I'm okay.
Okay.
Looks like she was said something 2 minutes ago. Oh, there we go.
So what is that?
Yeah,
The
so,
situation?
Acock flies out, lands on the Templar's shoulder, and thinks to him, "This guy giving you trouble? You want me to bite his ear off?"
Just tell me what happened here.
I think things are going to be okay, but they're going to be a little weird for a while. Come on. And Acock does that sort of head toss motion just before he takes off back into the temple.
Okay. Yeah. May we? I say to the.
May you what? Go
Enter.
in? Yes.
Yeah.
Might as
Okay.
well. If you can help get your friend out of there, I guess. I gather.
Okay. So
And
I follow.
And they all run back in with you, and other people are getting there by either running or conveyance of some. Come to think of it, we have 3 Wastelanders in the party at the moment, and they're all probably running back to the temple at a healthy pace.
Yes.
Jilly!
I can carry Jilly. It's fine.
Yeah. She's probably sitting on someone's back.
Jilly back ride.
Jilly's riding Tess like Yoda.
Okay, that works.
Hurry up. Where's my riding crop?
No.
Oh God.
Yeah, I think that ride's going to get a little bumpy.
If you pull my ears again.
Well, I mean, that's one use for a riding crop.
They get bucked off and trampled.
That would be bad.
No.
Yeah, you don't want to get trampled by the barbarian. It's just...
I can run with Jilly at arm's length like I'm carrying a misbehaving toddler.
Failing that, you can always carry her over your shoulder.
Yes.
But not the shoulder with the pointy pauldron.
I don't know if I have one of those. Actually, no, I'm not wearing armor. So
Oh,
it would
okay.
be nothing serious. I have safe shoulders.
Okay.
So yes.
And so you go in. Acock is waiting by waiting on a statue, then dives through a doorway and continue. You can follow him in. You get to one of the rooms that was set aside for Julie and Candace.
Yes.
There are 1 or 2 Templars standing over the body of Harquin Lavenel.
Oops. Well,
Does he look at the body, the living or the dead body?
Well, given that look on his face that can best be described as utterly vacant and yet slightly surprised, I'm not sure it matters.
Yeah, at this point, it almost doesn't.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Right.
Oh, good. Good.
So what about the Countess? And
I imagine they're not in terribly good mood.
Well, more frightened for their lives, but they'd been following that raven around, and Yeah, we're not used to having a raven flying around in the temple, but well, that bird's been neat.
He's a very well-behaved raven.
Yes, that he is. So,
Long as he
what
puts
happened?
newspaper
He has apparently been leading. Yeah, he and the ladies have been leading the count on a merry chase around the temple.
Oh,
Wow.
well done.
He suddenly lost interest in the chase, right?
That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
He sort of lost interest in everything all at once and nothing first.
Right.
Okay. Well done, ACOG.
Thanks.
Well, that's the last of my worries. That's the last of my concerns answered. Let's go back to the dungeon and root out the rest of the treasure.
Yeah.
Now, one of the Templars. Okay, the rest of you can
not
arrive.
have said that.
The rest of you can arrive at about this time.
Right.
Now you're working your way in alongside a man in a trench coat.
Uh-huh.
That's the investigator. There they had an FBI agent.
That's the investigator they had. One of the Duke's one of the Duke's investigators is coming in.
Well,
coming in with you guys, and one of the Templars says, "Can you tell me what this is? What's going on here?" Because the man suddenly drops dead. It looks as if, okay, at the moment, Argyle and Saria are the only ones in the room talking with the Templar.
Okay, then I'm not there.
Right, you will be shortly.
I won't say anything. I'm too busy conserving my breath for the run.
So, it appeared that he had something not very wholesome in his mind. So I'm just glad that he stopped doing what he was about to do.
Well, that is a good thing. He sort of used his rank to push all the way in, so that's...
Oh. He just dropped? There was nothing visible?
Like a proverbial stone. So we would like Yeah, and the rest of you are coming in at the moment that the Templar is saying, we would like very much to know what happened here. And the Duke's man says, we'd like to know first, if you don't mind.
Why not all at the same time? I'm not there yet.
No, you are just arriving.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're just coming in. So your question is warranted.
I've got to see the rest of this because, you know, it would make a terrible ending to the story, and then stuff happened before I got there.
Yeah, that's true.
No one's going to toss money when I say that.
So your question stands. Why not everyone at once?
Sure.
Because there may be certain matters about the situation that must be kept circumspect.
Yes. In that case, why don't we
we are concerned with the discretion of the surviving family.
Yeah, why don't the most discreet people involved come here, because we've got a document to show you.
All right. Can we do this in a different setting?
Of course.
Okay.
Anywhere that works for you works for me.
Anywhere that works for me? All right. Okay. Smash cut to a salon in the Duke's residence.
Oh, in the Duke's residence.
Oh, this is fancy smancy.
And that's the moment to take off the hat.
Yeah. And there are, there you six are, and the Duke, whom none of you have ever really seen up close, up close before, including the Nell Fortress.
The Duke himself.
The Duke himself.
Well,
and about 5 people, and a massive tea service.
Yay, tea.
Okay, so Well,
now I understand. I'm trying to get into my Duke voice here. He is an elderly gentleman, but surprisingly spry.
Just say
Now I
wizened
understand.
sounding, yeah.
Pardon?
Yeah, he sounds like a wizened old man.
Well, that's what I'm aiming for. Get off my lawn, you whippersnapper. No, sir. I wonder if I'm channeling a bit too much William Hark. No, I can't channel enough William Hartnell into it. So, I understand you people have had an adventure concerning one of my dukes.
You count?
No, one of my counts, yes.
What?
Senior moment.
You're Duke.
You got a promotion.
Feudalism.
It
Every
appears-
count votes.
Promotion stuff.
Every count counts.
Yes, that would be correct.
So, yeah, it appears so, Your Grace.
And what details do you go into? I don't need them rehashed, just which ones are you bringing up?
Well, we start by saying, well, this.
Let talk.
Yes.
So, I'm starting at the beginning, which means at the moment of the attempt on the Count's daughter's life.
Out on Wagon Row. Then
Yes.
probably going back to his house. The
To his house
investigation.
and his asking us to investigate and protect his daughter, because that he did.
Did he actually pay you for that?
You know,
He didn't
Come to
pay
think-
us.
No, then
He told us that there would
going
be.
to.
Yeah, he told us that he would not be lacking in gratitude.
although it's looking
Yeah.
now like that was just a bluff on his part. But
Well, let's not assume, because he can't tell us what he was planning or wasn't planning. But anyway, he just told us he would be grateful if we could clear this up. And clear this up we did, as...
Indeed, it sounds like he might have paid you very handsomely for a valiant attempt.
Anyway, the course of our investigation, we found this. I just sort of gesture to whoever's got the page.
Oh, the
book, right?
Yeah. You probably, almost certainly, you brought that up with you.
Yeah.
We did. So, and several people in the house.
Wilmark, could I, would you send him in, please? Yes. Thank you.
So, it appears as if he had a contract running, and several people in the household were also in part or privy to that.
In league with the Count.
In cahoots.
And this would be, well, we named those three guys. Those are
yes,
three,
we
right?
have a few. We have a few of them in custody already.
Two of them, the cook and this one who cut the net. The valet, that's what it was. The valet and the cook. Yeah. Well, we can assure you that the Countess appears to be entirely innocent in this whole matter.
I would be inclined to believe that as well. This contract, if that's what Wilfred will be investigating for me, but it looks as if it was made out even before he'd ever met her, so...
That would make sense.
That's our understanding as well. So the other party of this contract sadly escaped because we met this entity, but we were not able to overcome it.
Well, yes and no. I mean, I do recall it saying, "Fine, I'll take what I can get," before vanishing.
So you
Yes.
drove it off. That's still a victory.
Well,
It is, but it's not what it's. We still aimed higher. We wanted to take it down.
No, I
for
understand.
good.
I understand completely.
So,
legalistically, this opens quite the can of worms.
yes. Well, certainly, if the story becomes widespread, it would. But I'm not going to say anything.
Well, not just that. There are rules on the books about theft of title, line theft, and assorted things like that. However, under the circumstances, given that the trauma those two women faced,
certainly the Countess's line is still intact.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know,
the Baroness.
Let me put this. Oh yes, the Baroness, right. Let me put it this way: the young lady still has claim on her mother's line, I suppose.
Yes, she does.
That at least.
That at least.
At least.
Well, it then becomes it is a.
It's not as if something was stolen in the way of titles, I guess, because as far as we know, there is not someone else's line that was taken away.
Yes, it's like well, I don't know. It's not as if any other heir to that line was known about.
True.
Yeah.
Well, I do not envy you. I don't know what it is to sit upon a wool sack stuffed with such thorns as those.
So he smiles wanly at that. Is there anything in particular you're looking to get out of this meeting? And I know I'm opening the floodgates here.
Well,
so
I don't know.
Propose my idea. She, her noble place through his contract. It might look untoward if she is left in charge. However, if, say, me, an outsider, were to take that title and leave her in charge
wait a
of
second.
my
I
household,
think you clearly must.
I'm not done.
I think.
And leave her in charge of the household.
She's not,
I need to jump off it.
She's not that fluent in our language, so she might not convey her true thoughts on this. What she wanted to say was that
the Duke is laughing at this point.
There's nothing that speaks against the Countess keeping the title in theory, I think.
No, that's nothing, not even remotely what I said. I was saying that she can be my housecarl.
What?
But she's in charge of the household. She's in charge of everything. I'm a noble in name.
What Ginny wanted to say
this
was
person we've never met, and
what Ginny really wanted to say was that we found interesting things in the course of this investigation. Isn't that so?
I'd love to hear about them.
We'd like to keep them. Since they were just lying around unclaimed anyway.
Supposed to be the new chef of the household. That's all I understand.
Yeah, Ginny is going to be the chef in the household of the Countess.
Oh, hold on.
And underneath there should be things of historical interest for studying, I think.
No, I should want to send a few scholars down there to look around. Yes,
That would probably be a great idea.
Probably
There's
also with some defense.
Much
There are creatures
At some
down
point, at some point in all of these discussions, like Saria just like kind of makes a face and says, "You humanoids are so weird about your titles and everything. Like, what's the big deal of just letting her keep the fucking title?"
Whoa, that minus that one word.
Yeah, well, yeah, she
It
might
was
have
said in Druid.
like, what's the point? Like, what's the big deal of just letting her keep the title? Like,
Oh, yeah, why not? That's a great idea, I think.
Yeah, the Duke sort of sits forward on his chair, leans towards Saria, and says, "Have you ever met the Duchess of Wint?
no.
I think you two would get along splendidly. I'd like to see that meeting someday."
Well, if you want to set it up, then let's do it.
That sounds like an offer. I'll start arranging things.
Alright.
As for the title of the Lavenel household, yes, this does cast a significant pull on the Count's claim. However, given the circumstances, the trauma the two ladies have been through, and the fact that Cephalotville still needs some sort of guidance, I can see it clear to let the remaining Lavenels hold on to the title.
A splendid idea.
Now, the mother would not be without her power, but I think as soon as she comes of age, the title really does need to pass to the daughter.
That's fine.
In fact, it seems the best way to thwart an attempted demonic contract by giving the prize to the original intended victim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Ironic justice, my favorite kind.
I think as a group, you and I will get along nicely.
We would very much feel honored.
You did say nicely, not maniacally.
No, I said nicely. Why would you have preferred maniacally? There are some who would claim I could do that well too.
I guess that would depend on the circumstances. And she says that very unironically.
I must get you and Arabella together.
Oh god, now I'm really interested in this.
See, did anything else happen in your travels that you would like to share?
Well, let's see.
Anything in your travels that you don't want to share but feel you should, please?
Got a sweet skull.
There is...
skull, you say? Wilfred?
There was a skeletal horse down there.
Oh yes, that's what. So there are. It is not without dangers down there.
They're monstrous. They're not natural creatures.
Right.
Indeed, before the fall of the town before the fall of the city that stood where Nailforge stands today, there were rumors of sinister, even diabolical experiments.
Yes, well,
that sounds about right.
Interesting. That sounds like quite a story. I'd love to know more.
This may be something the historians can help you with.
They will be delighted to find a portrait down in those dungeons that may shed light on some of the things that happened in the past. Sadly, we did not. What the knowledge is not. We don't command enough knowledge of the past to give it its proper context.
Nobody does. That's why we have people studying it.
Yeah. So it should help them a long way, what they will find.
I should hope.
Yeah.
Sorry, I show them the staff.
The quarterstaff?
Yeah.
You were able to pry it out of Sarya's hands?
He didn't say give, he said show.
Yeah, nobody's giving this to anybody.
So,
well, I mean, hand it to him, like
let you see it.
Hold it out slightly.
Oh, that is curious.
I might show it, like, kind of hold it out and twirl it.
You can't have it though.
May I see it? Just the tip, please.
Sure.
Yeah, and he inspects the flower. Well, they appear real. Growing out of a staff that has been underground for how many hundreds of years? That is an extraordinary thing.
It
also,
is.
this cap was on it, and also this. You remember the sort of the foot stand that it was sitting in? I brought that just because I wanted it, and so it was sitting in this. Well, later on, when Yuletide comes around and I get an evergreen tree, I can stick it in there and hang internal organs on it and.
Oh, of course. By the way,
find entrails around it.
When we met the Serpentine Devil,
what can I say?
In these dungeons, it was not alone. It was accompanied by a helper, and that would be finding the name. Okay, and I say the name of the person.
The Count's personal assistant.
Yes, the Count's personal assistant. So, that is Iskaban. Yes, Iskaban.
Iskaban Kudri.
Ishkabibble.
Iskaban Kudri, the Count's personal assistant, was with the devil and attacked us to keep these secrets forever buried. And in the course of the struggle, he sadly came to
he met Swift Justice.
Yes, kind of.
Is that really that sad, though? I don't know about that.
Well, yeah.
I could argue. I agree with the young lady. She has the right in this situation. Though he presented a very compelling face to the nobility, he had a terrible plan in the works to cement his title at the cost of another life.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. So, and
some may say that's politics in general, but I tend to frown upon it.
Mm-hmm. That's good reason. So just so you know that your historians will find the remains of said Iskaban Kudri in those dungeons.
He is somewhat skewered.
He won't still be moving, will he?
No. Hopefully not.
Not unless he had unfinished business.
I would say under the circumstances, his business is quite finished. So I believe the plan currently is that the Countess and her daughter will start packing up what belongings they want to bring from the household they're in currently and move out to the house in Cephalville.
Yes.
And take their title as Count, or Countesses, and hopefully rule responsibly and peaceably over the land.
I'm sure they will, because we have come to know them as responsible and upstanding citizens.
You should probably find somebody to give them some weapons training, however.
So, what does that make my title?
Chef?
Chef. Yes. Chef.
Chef in residence?
As I understand it, their household will need a new chef, seeing as their last one turned out to be, as I've read the reports, homicidal and quite shouty.
She hit me with a frying pan. Who does that?
She even knocked out a paladin with a frying pan, so she's not to be trifled with.
And her battered chicken was actually quite good.
Really? I thought it was dry.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, must have been the piece.
I don't doubt that Miss Celestia was a competent cook, but taken as a whole package, I find her lacking. So, let's see, in the near future...
We would be honored to be of service.
Well, let's see. Under the circumstances, and I should tell you this, the Countess and her daughter have been somewhat traumatized by these circumstances and may want a little help settling into Cephlaville when they move up there in about 2 or 3 weeks. It might be nice for them to have some friendly and familiar faces when they do so.
With pleasure.
Yes, of course.
It seems fair. I wouldn't mind helping.
I would also be on the way to the Overgrowth, which Miss Saria, I believe, has a small vested interest in.
Yes.
Seeing as she was the one that helped gather the beetles.
Indeed, we are very much interested in what's the new use of these beetles will be.
It remains to be seen, but I am assured by certain very well-meaning individuals that the results should be dramatic.
Fascinating.
And I should also ask, is there any special... He stops to think for a moment, looking over at Jilly again.
She smiles ear to ear. It's a very dragon-like expression.
More dragon-like than the dragon, in fact.
Yes. My traits just aren't that visible. They're all psychological.
So, is there anything about yourselves you'd like to share? And this could be a suitable point for a fade out to the evening when the interview is ended and things start going back to some form of normal.
Right.
Where we can reflect upon the events of the previous sessions. Are there any loose ends you guys want to take care of?
Yeah, I still don't have a noble title. And
yes, you don't, but you have a lot of money that you grabbed down in the dungeons, and we didn't rat you out.
Well,
oh, you know what? I can help out in the kitchen.
Well, I do sort of commute between this town and the dry hills on tribal business. So presumably I often act as a go-between for like buying expeditions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe if I could negotiate a better deal for the Dry Hills clan when they send somebody else to pick up essentials and supplies.
Maybe.
Well, as long as that painting of that one king doesn't start doing the Carpathian thing, I'm fine.
Right. Either that, or it turns out that the painting has been aging all this time while the king remains young.
Well, it looked young, the painting.
Well, and the king looked like quite the strapping figure in that painting.
Yes.
So full of life.
Indeed.
So it could be the painting remained the same age while the king of that era kept getting... Wait, now that's how it normally works, isn't it?
Yes.
So weird.
Okay.
Nobody thinks of... Yeah, that's how everybody knows it works, but just to hear it out loud like that... Now let's review some stuff. Now, of the stuff that I know that you carried out of the from the Undercity, let's see. You got a bag of money from the inn's living space. The end of the back alley, you'd found that in the skeleton's hand. The loft of the blacksmith shop, you found a bag of money. In the potion shop, there was a bag of money in the living space.
And some potions that I'm not going to be the first.
Mm-hmm. The kitchen of the inn. And the workbench at the blacksmith shop. Now, we should probably also add the stuff that you found in that room over the bookshop. That kind of counts as well. So let me copy that. Paste special. Add. There we go. So, of the money I have you getting out of that fragment of the Undercity, I have a total. Let's see. Let's see. You didn't do that. You didn't get the money out of the culvert tunnel.
Wasn't worth it.
Yeah, you found a big pile of coppers and some silvers there. From the common room of the... you might go down for just the painting. Maybe. Actually, is there anything you would like to loot from the dungeon while you have your liberty? Quick trip back in there to look for anything you might have missed. I still have the map here.
I
showed them the straw painting too.
I will totally be in on that. I don't know who else is interested, but oh yeah.
But let's see. At the moment, just to handle the bookkeeping, right now I have you taking out of there 24 gold, 947 silver, and 861 copper.
That's awfully precise.
Well,
Okay. And
At some point, I would not be surprised to find you renting a room in an inn to count all this up.
I think that most of
or going to the local bank and dropping it in the coin store. I'm not sure which.
Most of this is in Chile's hands, except
which raises another issue.
Except I think 70 silver are in our common hands. So
are we actually splitting up the money? Because I thought pretty much all of them, like Jilly had taken all of the money.
Yeah, Chile has all of the money except 70 silver, I think.
71 silver.
Many of you have gotten magical items, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the other objects. Let's see. You got a +1 battle axe,
which 2 people have been sharing.
Yes.
It can go back to Warren. I just needed to borrow it to kill something. Got it warmed up.
Let's see, a +1 dagger.
Yes, that's with me.
A +1 quarterstaff.
That's with Saria. +1 quarterstaff.
+1 quarterstaff. It sounds so innocent when I put it that way.
I know.
Also, it's called Staff of the Hierophant, so it could probably do more than just +1.
Oh boy, yeah.
The question is figuring out what that riddle means.
The next power.
Yes, figuring out what the riddle. Oh my gosh, yes. I need to figure it out. Saria's like, oh. Interesting. This is a puzzle. I must puzzle that.
Now, just for the sake of keeping track of all this stuff, actually, that's all the weapons. I should cut them, move them down there, because no. Move them down there. Now, let's see, art objects. Almost certainly you're going to grab that painting.
We told the Duke that the painting was down there and that it was good for the historical society, so we won't grab that.
You're not going to grab the painting.
No, of course not. It's already...
Wait, hold on. We've got to take it out of the dungeon to keep it safe. There could be another wandering skeleton in there.
But we told the Duke that there is this painting and his historians will want it.
Oh, absolutely. I plan on giving it to them eventually.
We have to give them something because they are the lawful authority in this city. You have a lot of gold. Give them the painting.
Well, you see, what I was thinking of doing with the gold was hiring a forger. And what we could do is we can sell a version of this painting on the black market.
Why not just
double our investment?
Why not just take the money and give the original painting to the Duke? Because they will find out that it's a forgery.
Oh, no.
And they will also find out how old the forgery is. And
No. You don't sell the forgery to the Duke. You sell the forgery to somebody gullible who knows that you pulled the painting out of the dungeon.
I see. I'm not in on that.
At most, you upset a thieves guild.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
It really doesn't.
Now that I say that out loud, never mind.
Pardon.
So,
let's see, other objects you pulled out. You got the broom of flying.
Yes, broom of fly.
A pair of eyes of charming, I believe.
What?
Oh, yeah.
That's the hypno glasses.
Oh, yeah, right. Who has those?
I believe John has those.
I don't think we assigned it to anyone in particular.
I think John has. I think Thagak has those currently.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, great. So Sagak.
Right.
Then Soria has the potion of animal communication.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though I can speak to animals, I know the potion well enough that if anybody else needs it, I can use it on them.
Argyle has the broom of flying.
Mm-hmm.
Warren has the battle axe.
Mm-hmm.
Who has the dagger?
Also Argyle. But what does Tess have? Just the honor.
I have, yes. Well, I have that skull from something. I was going to do something with that. I don't remember
The
though.
skull. Yes, but what? Yeah, the skull. To make a drinking skull out of it.
I don't know if I was going to make it into a decorative helmet. Maybe not. It was, I forget what kind of beast it was from, though. It wasn't the one from like the...
You couldn't identify it at the time.
Mm-hmm. But we heard about experiments in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably something from, no, what's it called? Genetic engineering.
Weirdness.
Okay, so let's see. I also want to remember there was... I need to go back to my copy of that map because it has the treasure key on it.
Now what we didn't find.
You think I'm going to tell you? You're going to feel bad about anything you might have missed down there.
Yes, and that should bring you
It's,
joy
it's
as
also
the DM.
not... Well, maybe. The theory being I left you stuff down there to find. But then again... Oh, there it is.
Well, Jilly at least wants to take a second look.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I did. Oh, yeah, that's... Okay, yeah, that's the stuff. Two other things escaped my attention. You found a green gem that essentially contains a water elemental.
Oh, yes.
What happened with the
A water elemental.
Who's got that? That might be one for Argyle, at least temporarily.
Yeah, I'll safeguard it temporarily.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
just
you
hold it
also-
for me.
Indeed.
And you also found a black velvet hood-style mask.
I think Sagak ended up keeping that too.
Right, right. Or was it just a sheet of black velvet with Elvis painted on it?
No, it is a black velvet hood with eye holes and features stitch and facial features stitched in silver.
Uh-huh.
So it looks creepy.
It does look creepy.
Is it magical at all?
It's not magical, but it isn't. But it is in surprisingly good condition considering how long it's been underground.
I wonder if it's a cult mask or something.
We
Good
should donate
question.
it to the local theater troupe.
Or the amateur wrestling association.
Yes.
About to say.
Right. Right. I'll put it on and start carrying a folding chair as a weapon.
We should probably investigate those things, the add a gem for the water elemental and the mask about what they signify and what can be done with them. I'm going to use looking it up. I'm going to use this identify spell on the green water elemental gem.
I think that's how you identified it as a green water elemental gem.
Okay, but what does it tell me how to use it or what we can do with it? Or...
Break the gem, release the water elemental. One use item.
Yeah.
And what
you
would
tell
that
it to do something and it says, okay.
Oh, that might be a tricky one and dangerous and whatever. Do not break gem inside city limits, right?
That might be a wise thing to do.
Yeah,
okay.
That would be a wise thing to not do.
The elemental.
Yeah. Good question. How big do water elementals get?
Only one way to find out, but outside city limits.
You need a use for it. Remember.
Like a giant raging fire.
Yep.
If we are one day attacked by fire elemental, for example.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a 20 die fire elemental, and it turns out that ours is like 1 die.
Then that's just bad luck.
I'm a 1 die elemental. You put me up against that thing, and I will die.
Yes.
Water elemental is listed as large.
Large, that's kind of like 3 times a human.
At least maybe about double, 2 to 3 times.
Double.
Yeah, 1.5 to 2 times as tall as people.
Okay, so not too big. It's okay.
It's
still in the okay.
You're not dealing with anything that'll wash away the city. So you got that going for you, which is nice. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Let's see.
So and we have a job from the Duke himself.
You kind of have an invitation to go up with Julie and Candace to their new home in Cephalaville with a big batch of beetles that'll be released a bit farther to the north in a place called the Overgrowth.
Overgrowth, yes.
It's a nice place.
That's great.
Now, here's a thought. Do I know anything about problems that the Dry Hills clan has had with voracious beetles being released without being careful where they release them?
I think I can pretty safely say the Dry Hills clan has never had to deal with a problem like that before.
Okay, good. Well, then I'm not going to say anything. I mean,
yeah, and also
I don't care.
The Ministry of Vermin looked very capable to me, so I think they know exactly what they are doing.
Well, they've offered to have me come out too to help with it. So
yeah, I'd say we take them up on that offer and go and come with Zarya to what they are doing after we brought the Levinells to their new residence.
Anyone else have any other line on adventure they'd like to bring up to the party?
well,
I'd
now
guess Chili.
this one woman. So you better make sure I meet this one woman the Duke wants me to meet.
Yeah, that's the Wilt. What those names? I don't have them handy.
Arabella Sasquivar, Duchess of Wint.
Yes.
The Duchess of Wint. Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's my home Duchess, right? Where my hometown.
Yes.
Oh, so we'll be going to see Argyle's home. This will be fascinating.
It will explain a lot.
Well, maybe not my home. That's just bland. But
yeah, well, let's see.
It will be an interesting adventure, Argyle.
Also interesting to note, Argyle and Saria's homes, initially at least, were to the south of Nelforge.
Yes, they are.
Cephalaville and the Overgrowth are to the north.
So I see. I was looking. Oh, I don't see Wint on the map. I thought I did, but I was looking at the wrong.
Well, Wint and Umbrell. Umbrell is the area that Nelforge is essentially the capital of. Are regions, not cities.
Oh, is it that green area?
The green area is essentially all of Chaldea.
I see.
And it is a few hundred miles across and much taller.
Mm-hmm.
As such things go.
As such things go.
So the Duchess of Wint has her palace.
Or her manor, at least.
A manor in the countryside between towns. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh, hello, Shu.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to recap for
her?
What was that?
Who wants to recap for her?
Well, we stopped the Count from killing his daughter. We sort of gave the evidence to the Duke's investigator, and it creates a bit of a thorny legal problem for them, but that's not our problem.
It doesn't. The Duke ruled and said that the Countess can remain a Countess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Despite the
the daughter will inherit the title.
Well, that's good.
Yes, it is.
So,
and Chile is rich now. Chile has a lot of money.
Chile has quite a bit of money.
Who? Candace?
Chile. No, Chile. Candice too. Candice as well. But Matt's character, Chile, the cook. Because when we were underground, she grabbed basically every bag of money we stumbled upon, except one.
She was the party's cash vacuum.
And and now she has it all, but it's not enough for her. She wants more.
she wants a title,
but she doesn't get a title.
Yes, and when she brought it up, I stressed to the Duke's investigator, I said, I just want to make it clear that I do not know this person. We've never met.
Oh, Jilly was stressed too. That the amount of coin she was carrying out of there weighed about 35 pounds.
Not bad.
Right.
So happy end for everyone.
More or less.
Yes.
And now,
sucks for the Duke though, but screw him.
Except for the Count.
The Count.
Yeah, I'm Count. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So, but the Duke asked us to accompany the Lavinels to their new home.
Right.
So you kind of have an invite
and
to
Candace is going to get. Is there a bedroom for her yet?
Well,
they're doing some construction on the house now.
Yes.
Now that also
somebody's got to teach Candace how to handle a dagger.
Or a battle axe.
Yeah, there are some plans to make some additions to the house, but fortunately they don't have to make quite as many because, well, the Count's not moving in with them.
Well,
there is that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make an effort to hook Candace up with a temple that has some pretty good counselors, because clearly this kid needs some therapy. There's nothing like the trauma of finding out your dad plans to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
And your mother too.
And your mother, right? And actually tried to go through with it.
Yes.
So, in the absence of therapy as a profession, you know, clergy kind of were the, so I'm gonna like, I'm sure there's like a sister temple that has things said about for that sort of thing. So I'm gonna
I'm
like,
pretty sure the Temple of Briscus has nuns as well.
mm-hmm. Well, yeah, spiritual advisors of all kinds, but I'm gonna like pick one out that I think is especially good for an understanding and works well with youth, and like hook her up with that. And if they need donations, I will take care of that myself.
Okay.
Yeah, and apparently we missed a hilarious chase scene through the temple because the count made it inside the temple, and
what?
when he tried to kill his daughter,
it was weird. He was sort of spontaneously dropped dead.
The countess, and yes, he did. When the devil collected.
Yeah, presumably that's when he took his soul.
He just dropped.
So, well, he had a very terrible expression on his face, but
vacant, but vaguely surprised.
That sort of happened.
But
actually, it wasn't even a terrible expression that way.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So, but they were running throughout the temple and chasing each other, and my raven Acock was also with them chasing. So it was probably a good scene for a film, but sadly none of us were present, so we can only listen to what we are told about it.
Well, I don't think any of my people would have actually let him do it, but it's good to know he dropped dead. Anyway.
Yeah, he kind of surprised them because they didn't expect him to to try and kill his daughter.
They weren't expecting the threat to come in to be quite so terrestrial. Also, the Count had built up a reputation over those years as a generally reasonable and charitable sort.
Yeah. He did come
well and good.
Makes his very recent actions a terrible surprise to everybody. But he'll be remembered fondly.
Particularly by the gossips who love to spread scandal.
Yes.
Well, we will try to keep a lid on this episode. The Duke, ourselves, and also the temple. I think everybody will prefer it to be he just had a heart attack. So sad. Ooh. So nobody is served with a scandal in this case.
Well, nobody's served by the scandal, at least.
Yeah,
that's why you're sitting on it.
Right.
Yes, we are keeping that quiet. It's just unfortunate tragedy in the family that he suddenly dropped dead. Oh my, the poor orphan, half orphan, and the poor widow.
Yes.
No, the Countess, I actually do feel bad for her because shit, what a terrible situation.
Yeah.
And she didn't find out about it until the past. Yeah, she didn't really begin to suspect until the past few days, but maybe the Count was in his own way privately abusive.
I bet.
Glad she's
not physically, but psychologically.
Yeah, somebody who is up to kill his own daughter is probably not a nice person.
That seems like a good general statement that would always be true.
Yeah. Oh, sad. Because he came across so nice. I really liked the guy when I met him.
Yeah, your character must be so heartbroken.
Oh yeah, it was a shock.
Aww.
Daria will probably do one of those like very awkward, kind of like
Happy dances?
Pat, like
Yeah, like there.
Yeah.
this is my comfort. I hope it's helping.
Yeah. Also, I told you so.
I have heard this motion can sometimes comfort people. I hope it works. Pat.
Yeah, basically, like I've heard this helps. Is it?
Yeah. I can't help thinking Saria is maybe channeling just a little bit of Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory, too.
Oh, God.
All right.
This would seem to close out this particular incident, and people need to list some new items on their sheets.
Yes.
You know, the strategic character matrix that I linked to in the community some time back might be good for this sort of thing.
Yeah.
If you list any special items and such. I don't think we're going to worry about this. I don't think we're going to worry about individual spells because that is going to be a constantly growing list.
And I'm not sure about Chili. Will she throw a party with her money or will she invest it?
Lord.
Yeah.
You don't,
Okay,
yeah.
Chili, one word. Hummus.
Not so sure about your word.
Oh, and I guess I'd get back all my expended spell slots.
Yes.
Yes.
You get them back with a long rest. You get them back with a long rest.
Yep. And all the hit points back.
The best points.
There you go.
Now, regarding that one other issue, the elephant in the room that I've been avoiding looking at, Emmy brings it up, the experience.
Well, Coy brings it up.
Ah, okay.
He typed it.
Danger of two people sharing the same keyboard.
Yes.
We get terrible feedback. I'll try to bring my computer.
Maybe I'll try bringing D20 Pro up later today. In the meantime, let's get back to that window. Specifically that window. No, not that one. Let's see. So, you dealt with the rot beetles, ultimately.
Yes.
Now, ultimately, you dealt with Harquin Lavanel.
Yeah. One way or another.
Yes.
You know, thinking about it more, it strikes me that maybe it is a good thing that we didn't outright destroy or discorporate the devil or whatever, because then he might not have been able to immediately collect the soul and thereby inadvertently save the Count's family.
True. Good point.
I mean, maybe the people there would have been able to protect them, but maybe not.
Yes, very true.
So let's see, what all have you dealt with? You dealt with the rot beetles after a fashion. Harquin Lavanel was sort of dealt with.
Yeah.
Soul was dealt with.
What's his name? Who?
The valet.
Yeah, the valet who sabotaged the beetle net.
And the cook. And the personal assistant.
Yeah.
Well, you drove off once the first time, so maybe just a little bit off of that. And that horse.
That horse, yes.
Ah, yes. Mr. Dead.
Yeah, I hit him.
Oh, and Mr. Dead.
That's right.
So what I'm going to do, just for the sake of making this, I have that sum. Throw in a few extra points to This was over the course of a few days, so I'll throw in a few extra in like that. Now, this might not seem like a whole lot, but it is being distributed among 7 people, and not everything has been... It's going to amount to all 7 of you getting 800 experience each.
800 each. That's a lot.
That's a fair amount. Though granted,
It is over the course of the entire thing.
Yeah.
Matt.
Peace.
The Horde of experience.
For just 3,500.
There's hoarding, and then there's being a vacuum.
Yes.
Yep.
There wasn't even that much total to go around, let alone to let you steal it from us.
I know.
So at that point, David would be more concerned than we would.
You are never going to go, are you?
No.
I wouldn't say I'd be... Well, I'd be concerned after a fashion.
Where would that put?
I'd find my way to take them back.
Exactly. You're alone in a room with a vampire. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did I say a vampire?
Oh, gosh.
An entire football team of vampires. Though, to be fair, that would only even get you 1 level. That wouldn't even put you to level 6. So it's not like the power balance would even be noticeable. So.
Which is why I should have it.
That's not what I was saying.
So
wasn't the right conclusion?
Wait a second. How many people are we because of the 71 silver pieces? I think Chili has enough money, so
Chili doesn't
just
anymore.
Distribute it among the rest.
9.
That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. 71 divided by 6. Who's good in here?
11 each.
Just under 12.
It's left over.
12?
Just under 12.
Just under 12. Okay. So
yeah, that is
11 and something silvers for everyone except Chili. because Chili already has 947 of the things.
Yeah,
900 silver. That's like 90 gold. That's
I can't put it in there.
Oh, that's
more money than I have right now.
Yes, remember? Yeah, because my thing is fucking. Because Apple is fucking stupid.
I am officially adding 11 silver to
11 silver, 11 gold, 8 silver, 3 copper.
Oh goodness!
Wait a minute, no, I got that completely wrong, didn't I? It'd be 11 silver, 8 copper.
Yes.
How much gold then?
0.
None.
Well,
because
I did donate
like
1 silver
20 something like that.
to round it up.
Okay, so
okay.
Noblesse oblige. Wow.
So 12 silver.
So generous.
Thanks.
And yeah, he donates 1 silver to the party and keeps the 120 gold to himself.
Yes.
Okay.
How very generous of him.
Mm-hmm.
At least we have enough to buy ourselves some pest bar.
Because Candace's protection was looked after by the temple, we might want to set aside a little bit for a small donation to the temple, because, putting your lives on the line should probably be rewarded.
And you know what? I think that Jilly should take care of that.
Yeah, that's a great
idea. Yeah.
And being the one that is taking care of that, I'll also decide the amount. Thank you.
Great. So everything's settled then.
I don't think anything is settled, really. And future adventure is going to be troublesome because of it.
Yeah.
Considering
Make sure it's
that
enough of a donation that they'll actually appreciate it. And that it's an actual donation and not an insult.
Huh.
Wow.
I'm sure Chili knows what's the right amount. She has a hand with money. I trust her.
Knows, probably. Cares.
Hand with money. Well, her hands are full of money. So yes, that is a hand with money in it.
Considering that the 11 silver I got will buy a poor lifestyle for 5.5 days, it's not like we're exactly rolled. Or squalid for 11 days if you want to stretch it out.
Also, there is the question, maybe the Duke gives us something because he's fair and good. Who knows?
Well, let's see.
Well, yeah, the Count didn't pay us or anything, even though
Well, the Count didn't pay you, true. But let's see. You still have the you still have that fancy black mask, hood, the skull, which doesn't have any value of its own, but you may be able to do some stuff with it. And that painting, now that you mentioned that, a few people went down into the Undercity entrance there, and they brought the painting up. It was appraised at 25 gold.
Well, but it's much more in ideological value for the
scholars would pay a lot more than that.
It's living history, so it's
part of the reason. That's part of the reason you're getting 25 gold for it.
Oh, we get 25 for it. Oh, that's okay. So we can divide 25 through 6. No, we can't.
Well, you get 6, remainder 1.
6, remainder 1. Okay, so yeah, great idea.
There we go.
The 25 gold goes to the temple
for the donation.
1 gold.
The remainder.
Oh, the 1 gold goes to the temple?
Yep. Yes.
We give them the leftovers.
Because Chile already took care of giving the temple something. We just give 1 more gold to top it off.
Oh, from what we got.
And how much is Billy giving?
None.
Keep in mind that the party's paladin knows exactly what you gave.
Okay. Shu and David, I want to IM you. She it looks like
the rest of us doesn't want.
It looks like she gave 3 gold.
Waiting for the other shoe to drop. Sorry.
I'll just say it because it's just fun character flavor. She actually gives 30.
Whoa.
Not a bad number.
That's
is,
a good number.
Is 30 a lot in this setting?
Yeah, it's a good bit.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's
good.
That should be really good.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
the only
especially
reason,
considering that they...
Yeah, considering that we were like, hey, be a bodyguard for this person that is going to be attacked possibly by a supernatural force.
And not only did the person get attacked inside the temple by her father, but also her father killed by a devil inside the temple, and the temple wasn't able to stop that. That's
because the father forswore the temple's protection.
Food for thought.
Did he?
In fact, well, considering he signed a contract with the devil, there was a strong argument to be made for that.
Yeah, I don't think
it is.
I don't think
he put let the devil elect him no matter what if he failed to deliver, and he failed to deliver.
He put himself into that very real moral.
It's safe to say Briscus does not approve of bitch-ass behavior like he had.
That was a bit beyond the pale. Yeah.
Yeah, true. And he didn't even repent. He was still very happy to deliver.
Damn, that's rough.
He was attempting to deliver right at the very end there.
Yeah. The bastard.
Man, bastard.
Okay.
I was
Not
really
a nice
hoping to
case.
be wrong about him.
But I'm sure the Countess will be a much better hold of the title.
Right. Yeah, a day or two later, you're going to get a an additional infusion of cash along those lines. Each of you as participants in this are getting another 15 gold.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Great. Awesome.
That's
Should we add
lovely.
that now? I guess.
What?
I'm 100 air.
Wow. Okay.
Plus, I
So-
imagine you're not selling off those assorted things you pulled out from underground: the broom, the eyes, the potion, the
No.
elemental gem, the +1 weapons.
Nope.
No.
Those are useful.
Mm-hmm.
We might when we get +3 weapons, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then we are ready, set and ready for
Whatever comes next.
whatever comes.
Actually, I think we should sell the gem. None of us can control a water elemental.
Says
Yeah, but-
you.
But to whom would we sell it? To the university, maybe.
The university?
We should watch out who gets that. And also, who knows? Maybe we need it. Let's hold on to it.
Okay.
Maybe it comes in handy in one situation. Maybe we stumble upon a wood fire. And then we would be happy to have a water element.
I just kind of take some water and make ice on the ground by pouring out some water and hitting it with a frost bolt. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
There's a question. Does the conjure elemental spell grant control?
Well, I'm sure it does.
Because that's the way the gem works.
I'm sure the conjure does grant control, but the question is, does breaking a gem grant control?
Well, breaking the gem summons the elemental as if you had used the conjure elemental spell.
It'd be a terrible spell.
The elemental is friendly to you and your companions for the duration.
Oh, for the duration.
It has its own turns.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. If your
Mm-hmm.
concentration is broken, the elemental doesn't disappear. Instead, you lose control of it. It becomes hostile to you or toward you and your companions and might attack. An uncontrolled elemental can't be dismissed by you, and it disappears 1 hour after you summoned it.
1 hour?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A strong case for selling the gem.
I mean, I'm sure that we could survive 600 rounds.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. The elemental servant fills a 10-foot cube.
It's a
10
foot big fish tank.
That's a big fish tank.
That's
It stays full for only an hour.
okay. Okay, I'm selling the gem to the university.
Okay, let's see what kind of money you can get for that. Let's see if I can even find that.
7,500 gallons. That is a big fish tank.
Mm-hmm. And I may be running into that same, let's see. Challenges identifying. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this part of the trip, I admit, not very.
The bookkeeping part.
Yeah.
I also expect that the university won't be the most. I think some unsavory elements on the street would pay more than a university.
Unsavory elements?
Yes. So I'm still definitely giving it to the university, but yeah, just to say that maybe the rates are not fixed.
Okay. Give me... Do you have anything to help with selling the thing?
You mean a skill?
Yes.
Like
persuasion? Like persuasion or something like that?
No, only investigation and arcana. Arcana.
Persuasion. Would you like me to haggle for you?
Yeah, please. Be so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Persuasion. Oh, and guess what? I also have expertise with persuade.
Whoa.
In addition to proficiency, expertise is a bardic ability. So let me just quickly see what it does.
Mm-hmm.
Warren's thinking of selling the battle axe?
Just the regular one, I think.
Oh, the regular one.
Yeah, that you buy for 10 gold, so it would be probably worth up to 10 gold.
Up to 10 gold if you're lucky.
And maybe you have a good story.
Basically, it doubles my proficiency bonus.
Yay.
For persuasion.
So you have persuasion plus. So you have a +4 at the moment in persuasion.
Yeah. And that's not counting the attribute bonus either, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a total of +6 on all of that.
Good.
And where are these D20? I got a D20 in here somewhere. Okay, here we go. Okay. No, that was cocked. I got to do this properly. There it is. There's one. Okay, 10 plus 6. I got a total of 16.
Actually, I just found the section on selling magic items in the book. Let's see, character comes in downtime activity. This downtime activity can be performed only in a city or other location where one can find wealthy individuals interested in buying magic items. Check.
Hey, Nailforge.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, for each saleable item, the character would make a DC 20 intelligence investigation check to find buyers. However, you have a good idea where to find such buyers already at the Academy Circle.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I'll cut that back to a DC 15 check.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with that. Hang on to that charisma roll, John, though, so we'll be...
Intelligence check, Argyle.
For what? For finding?
For investigation to find a buyer.
Ah, okay. Whoa, 17 plus 5 is 22.
You didn't even need the plus
I know
there.
exactly the person.
The guy who loves this stuff.
Yes. Reginald Brown, our master of water elementals.
Okay. Give me a percentile check now.
Okay. Percentile. The tens. The tens. I should have asked if high or low. It's pretty high. It's 86.
86.
86. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, you tell me. You do find a mage around the academy who is interested. He deals in elementals, and he is willing to pay 500 for it.
500.
500.
Well, sounds excellent. What do you say, Thagak? Is that a good price or is it not?
Well, I
And
rolled
what was
16, so I'd say it's probably the best price we're going to get.
Perfect.
Yeah, you get that. You get the feeling it is a very good price. You want to roll high on that table.
All right. So then we take it, and the green gem.
The green gem is out of your hands, and 500 gold are in your hands now.
Wow, 500 gold.
500 gold.
That should give us the opportunity to buy 4 Tess, who saved my life down there.
Done that.
A magical battle axe, maybe, of her own. How much do those things cost?
You're running into the same. You have me running into the same problem I was running into before when we were talking about magic weapons and buying things. The book doesn't tell you.
Here's a range.
Doesn't tell.
Yeah, it's like 500 to 1,000 for a +1 weapon or something, or maybe.
Really? For +1, 500?
I thought so. I can look again.
Well, they have some unusual properties that make them desirable. For instance, devils and demons are vulnerable to them.
Oh yeah, true. But 500 still sounds like an awful lot.
Looking at armors here.
Would it help to offer up a regular battle axe to be made into a magical weapon?
Well, I'm looking at the page that says how much items cost at a given rarity. And I certainly found magical armor, but I'm not seeing, I remember where, magical whatevers.
Yeah, and that question.
There we go. Weapon +1, +2, or +3. Any +1 weapons are listed as uncommon.
Oh, so that's 101 to 500 gold. So yeah, they're pretty expensive. So you're welcome, Warren.
What about +2? What is the range for those?
+2 gets a bit more. +2 is rare.
That's 501 to 5,000, which is an enormous range.
Wow.
You might be better off commissioning it to be made. And even then. Let's see, what was I looking for here? Downtime. More downtime activities. Crafting a magic item. Minimum level to craft an uncommon item is 3rd. Creation cost is about 500 gold.
Okay.
So yeah, it's the very upper end of the price range, which I can't blame them for, I suppose. I can blame them for not giving us a solid price on buying it, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't need monetary wealth.
Well, there are also other ways to get extra qualities like that out of a weapon.
That's true. I could silvering, I think, only costs 10 gold.
I think so, but wears off as you use it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't remember reading that.
I think it happens slowly over time.
10 gold is not much for silvering.
Can I get a depleted uranium battle axe? I feel like that would be really good at cleaving through armor and maybe also giving me cancer.
Yeah, that sounds like.
Actually, I don't know what the metallic properties of uranium are. Is it soft?
I think so, yes. I think it is soft.
Yeah, so the hilt of the the hilt of the sword. Okay, so the sword is hard and regular metal, but it has this lovely squishy part in the hilt that you squeeze for good luck, as long as you still have your thumb.
You're making me think of those the squeeze toys that do silly things like the eyes bulge out or whatever. Except it's a sword.
You know, plus one of those might be cheaper.
Plus one squeeze toy where it's like a little pig and the poop comes out.
Zagak, by the way, do you need anything like if I get a silvered battle axe for Tess, would you also need something?
Something silvered? Well, let me see.
Or some kind of weapon you don't actually have at the moment?
Well, I mean, I've got a long sword. I've got a dagger. Maybe a silvered one wouldn't be bad.
Silvered longsword and silvered dagger?
Well, so both of them silvered might be a little much, but whatever.
Hey, I have 500 gold. If silvering just costs 10 gold, I'm happy to.
Well, what the heck? I mean, if that might give me an edge on things that are vulnerable to silver. Of course, if we're fighting a silver elemental and it turns out that it's healed by silver, that wouldn't be so good.
Then I would just hold on to first of all, I don't think that's real. That's made up. But secondly, just holding on to I have other weapons.
Yeah. Okay, but still. So 10 gold is a battle axe and silvering is 10 gold as well. So do I count correctly that 20 gold buys a silvered battle axe?
That sounds about right.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 100 gold to silver a weapon. I misremembered.
No.
Okay.
Glad I looked that up.
It's more realistic that way. So not the dagger then, but I'm going to get Tess a silvered battle axe, and and I'm going to have Thagak's longsword silvered.
Why, thank you.
Anytime.
That I've already got a battle axe that's not +1.
And you want to sell that off, and you can probably give me a charisma check on that.
Sure.
Who, me?
Warren, because he's selling the battle axe.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Charisma.
I know.
Koi, what'd you roll?
My dice app crashed.
Oh.
Good job. Mine?
It's coming.
Oh, it needs to be updated. Fuck you, dice roller.
That was very naughty of you, dice roller.
I know. Oh, this is back up.
I got a 10. My charisma is +1, so.
Okay, so you got a total of 11.
Yes.
I'll give you about 5 gold for it.
Would it help negotiations if I asked Thagak to help out?
Thagak, help out.
All right. So what do I roll here?
That's going to be a persuasion check, basically.
Once again.
Once more, yes.
Okay, and this time I got a 17.
Okay, bye, Matt. Yeah, I think we've done enough bookkeeping stuff for today. Probably time to get leave people to their stuff. And let's see. Call it 8.
Sounds good.
Okay.
My battle axe is so shiny. Thank you.
No, just say the word.
The great thing is I can hold the sword like this and the dagger like this while I shave.
Yep. Yes.
The silver has antimicrobial properties, so if I cut your arm off with it, it might not get infected.
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
So I believe we're done with this portion of the thing. Next week we'll not be having a regular online. We'll not be having a regular recorded session, but we will be having a session where we try to get used to the whole D20 Pro thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Learning
So
stuff.
rather than a live stream, it's just going to be practice for using D20 Pro.
Yeah, it's just going to be a noodling hangout.
Okay.
And this ought to be marginally easier to set up.
So that's going to be next week then?
That's going to be next week.
Okay. Anyone else need me for anything?
Anyone else need anyone here for anything?
Not at the moment. No.
Okay, then. I'll see you all next time. Going.
Later, peeps.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.